Christmas morning is usually a time for families to gather, honor traditions, and, of course, exchange gifts. But for many, this Christmas will look a little different. Still, a Gallup poll found that 93% of Americans are expected to celebrate Christmas in some way today.
I sure hope so. But in another recent survey, 60% of adults say they just feel overwhelmed by the number of issues the country is facing. Understand that, too. Bishop T.D. Jakes is senior pastor of the Potter's House. That's a 30,000-member church in Dallas. Welcome and Merry Christmas to you, Bishop Jakes.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be with you. Thanks for having me.
We're so glad you're here. Listen, I think you are one of the most optimistic people I know, one of the smartest thinkers I know, so I think it's perfect that you're here with us on this Christmas morning, because 2020 has been a really rough year. Social upheaval, economic upheaval, health upheaval. But yet I've heard you say you are still optimistic and you still have hope. Please share.
Yes, I think it's very, very important that we remain optimistic because of the challenges that we faced and the vicissitudes of the past year and several years preceding it. But this year in particular has been particularly devastating. That gives us a reason to celebrate our own survival. That we made it through it, that we're still here. We have more reason to celebrate than we ever have before because we've never been as challenged as we are right now. So to celebrate that you're still here, whether you have a lot of gifts or a few gifts, to celebrate that you have endured. And I know that there are people who have lost loved ones and that sort of thing, and that's a very painful thing to go through. But God still has a purpose and a plan for your life, and you have to explore it and live your life to the fullest. That is your gift to the people you lost.
Bishop, you believe that the challenges of 2020 are actually making us more connected than ever before. How so?
Well, we're more grateful, we're more appreciative, we're more polite. We've learned not to take our loved ones and our friends for granted. We're checking on each other more. We're more concerned about each other. And I think that we've gotten back to what really matters. We were carried away with so many temporal things, and now we're learning to latch on to the intangible values of family and love and God and life itself.
Bishop, all this separation may make us value our family even more this Christmas, even if we are still apart. But at the same time, there is divisiveness in the country like we have not seen in decades, really. People can measure it. They say the polarization is very extreme. How do we fix that in the year to come?
I think it's going to take time. You know, whenever there's a laceration, healing takes time. You can't instantly heal. And I think the lacerations have been so deep that we have to give ourselves time to heal. And we're going to heal one-on-one. We're going to heal in the elevators. We're going to heal on the sidewalks. We're going to heal in the way that we treat people that we can't label. What we're really upset about is labels, not people. And when you actually meet people outside of their label, you find out there's more to unite us than there is to divide us.
You know, this is a first holiday for a lot of people where there is that empty chair at the table. I often find that when you lose someone, the first holidays, that first year is always the hardest because you're going back to what it was like last year. But you say we have to get ahead of the grief. What do you mean by that, and how do you do that?
When you see it's coming and you know that it's going to be tough and a certain place is going to be tough or a seat is going to be empty, change the game, rearrange things, break your tradition, go for a ride, take the family on a ride, go skiing, do something that's out of your norm so that you're not sitting in the misery of yesterday. You have to create a new future and a new paradigm for you and your family.
Bishop, because of the holidays, because of the pandemic, so many people are having difficulty sort of trying to figure out how to celebrate this year. I've heard that from a lot of people. It's like they need the season, but in some ways they aren't quite sure how to embrace it. And of course, a lot of people can't be with their families, which is also very difficult. How do we celebrate, do you think?
I think that it has to be a myriad of things. We have to take advantage of the technology that we have. We have to Zoom and FaceTime and do all of the things that we can to be connected with people that we're far away from. But we also have to enlarge the understanding that being by ourselves doesn't mean that we can't be celebratory. to have some me time, to do something for you. I think that's important also.
What's your tradition of this day? I know you and your wife certainly have a tradition at the house. I hope it involves banana pudding. I will say that. 'Cause he makes great banana pudding. I hope it involves that.
Yes, yes. Everything involves food in our culture. You know how that is. When you're born, when you die, anything, we bring food. So there'll be plenty of food. Our problem is there's more food than there are people to eat it, and that becomes a problem. But my kids, you know, the ones that are local, we will be connected, and we normally have huge gatherings and bring all the college kids who couldn't get home and the people who lost loved ones, and we have huge gatherings on Christmas. But this time it'll be much smaller. It'll be just our family, but we'll still have a good time.
Yeah, I think it's important that we figure out a way to do that, especially on this day. Thank you very much, Bishop T.D. Jakes. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. God bless you guys.
You too.